In Metro, our unemployment rate rose from 4% in February to 11% during COVID.
Responding to the pandemic has hit the city hard. That was a top takeaway from the mayor's State of the City address. The presentation was hosted over Zoom by the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade Thursday afternoon. Kennedy Stewart told viewers pre-COVID his office was predominantly focused on three files: housing, opioids, and the economy. And he acknowledged each had been severely impacted since March.
We had a huge reduction in shelter spaces due to physical distancing policies. These policies also forced more people to use drugs alone. In Metro, we lost about 8,500 businesses, and I think if we looked at the numbers up until November, there'd be plenty more.
Stewart detailed initiatives like using community centers to reclaim lost bed capacity, meal programs, and sanitation to tackle the sudden increase in street homelessness. To take on the increasingly toxic illicit drug supply, he says the city worked with the province and federal government for an emergency expansion of safe supply. And on the economic front, a look at expanded permitting for outdoor patios and funding from Ottawa to support continued transit service. However, during a Q&A portion of the address, the mayor was asked about spikes of violent crime in the city.
The best things we can do is redeploy our police in the most effective way possible, and then get the resources we need to get folks off the street and out of parks and into shelter where they have the supports they need to become, to get their lives back on track.
Stewart also faced concerns that city staff had recommended in a recent report that an additional charge be examined for drivers passing in and out of the city's core, a system commonly known as mobility pricing. He appeared to downplay concerns that such a system could actually be implemented.
We got reactions. I mean, it's not a decision by council. It is a report to get the information. So, for example, it turns out the city doesn't even have the legal authority to put something like this in place.
Stewart did also warn the city budget was under pressure and that work was underway to reel in substantial property tax increases at a time when other smaller municipalities nearby are expected to announce deductions. Still, a note of optimism.
We're going to get through COVID better than most places.
In Vancouver, David Zura, City News.